the difference between someone who enjoys your company and someone who can't stop thinking about you. If you've ever wondered why some people leave a deeper imprint than others, why some women stay in a man's mind long after the conversation ends, it's not luck, it's an art. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to master the art of lingering and how to become the woman he can't get out of his head. When it comes to leaving a lasting impression on someone's mind, most people get it wrong. They think that obsession is created by being constantly present, constantly available, and always showing up in someone's life. But real emotional obsession doesn't come from quantity, it comes from intensity. It comes from the way you make someone feel in specific, powerful moments. You can spend hours with someone day after day and still fade from their memory if you're not creating emotional peaks that stand out from everything else happening in their world. Think about the moments you remember most in your own life. They're not made of long stretches of time. They're snapshots, flashes of intense emotion, a conversation that touched your soul, a look that said more than words ever could, a laugh that made you feel alive again. These are the moments that carve themselves into our memory and keep playing on repeat when everything else fades away. That's the real secret to becoming someone's mental obsession. It's about planting emotional anchors they can't easily forget. When you're with him, it's not about trying to impress him with facts about your life or trying to keep the conversation going endlessly. It's about the feeling you leave him with. People don't remember exactly what you said. They remember how you made them feel. You want to be the person who makes him feel seen, understood, excited, challenged, amused, maybe even a little unsettled in a thrilling way. You want to be a vivid moment in a sea of monotony. That emotional spark is the thing that lingers when you're no longer around. The mistake many women make is thinking that being easygoing and low maintenance means being neutral. It doesn't. Being neutral doesn't create memories. You need to be vivid. Authenticity, passion, humor, depth, these are vivid traits. They create emotional highs. They trigger connection hormones in the brain. They build associations between you and intense positive emotions. Every time he smiles thinking about you, every time he replays something you said, every time he wishes you were there because you made an ordinary moment extraordinary, you're weaving yourself deeper into his thoughts. It doesn't have to be grand either. Sometimes the tiniest exchanges have the biggest effect. A mischievous look, a playful tease, a moment of surprising vulnerability, a spontaneous joke, a question that makes him think differently about himself. These little emotional micro moments are powerful because they feel personal. They feel unique, and when a man feels something unique with you that he doesn't experience with anyone else, he begins to crave it. It's important to remember that emotional imprinting isn't about manipulation. It's not about trying to create feelings just to control someone. It's about genuinely connecting in a way that feels real and exciting for both of you. That's why it's so important that you stay grounded in your own energy. Don't fake a version of yourself you think he wants. Instead, amplify the best, most vibrant parts of who you already are. Your excitement about your passions, your genuine curiosity, your sense of humor, your unique perspective on life. The more honest and vibrant you are, the more those emotional moments will naturally happen. Another crucial part of emotional imprinting is presence. Being mentally and emotionally present when you're with him makes every interaction more intense, When you're distracted, looking at your phone, or half listening, you're not creating anything memorable. But when you're locked in, fully listening, fully reacting, fully there, you become unforgettable. Presence is rare today. It's a gift. It's something people feel, even if they can't explain why they're so drawn to it. When you give someone the gift of true presence, they instinctively value you more. They feel more connected to you without even understanding exactly why. Creating emotional imprints also means being bold enough to show a range of emotions yourself. Too many people try to stay cool and detached because they think showing emotion makes them weak, but the opposite is true. Allowing yourself to light up, to get excited, to be touched, to be moved, it makes you magnetic. Emotional expression invites emotional response. When you show that you're alive inside, it invites him to feel more alive too. And when he associates that aliveness with you, you naturally linger in his mind. In the end, emotional obsession isn't about being perfect. It's about being impactful. It's about the feeling he gets when he thinks of you. That little rush of excitement, longing, curiosity, comfort, passion. Those are the ingredients that make someone not just like you, but not just appreciate you, but crave you. If you focus on creating those authentic emotional moments, even small ones, you'll find that you don't have to chase anyone. They'll already be running after the feeling they only get with you. One of the most misunderstood aspects of creating deep attraction is the role of space. We are often taught that if we like someone, we should show it through constant attention, frequent communication, and being available whenever they need us. But the truth is, emotional obsession is rarely born from constant presence. It's born from well-placed strategic absence. It's not about disappearing to play games or withholding affection to manipulate someone. It's about understanding a deeper psychological truth. People value what they have to miss. When you are always present, always available, you deny someone the opportunity to realize your value. Familiarity can breed comfort, but it can also breed complacency. When someone knows they can have your attention anytime they want, they don't have a chance to feel the hunger that longing creates. Longing is powerful. It stretches emotions. It deepens desire. It makes the heart restless in the best way. Without a little bit of absence, there is no space for longing to grow. Strategic absence means understanding the rhythm of connection. After a beautiful interaction, a fun date, a meaningful conversation, you step back just a little. You don't immediately chase the next moment. You don't flood his inbox with texts just because you had a good time. You let the moment breathe. You allow it to settle into his mind without piling on more experiences. In doing so, you give him the space to realize he wants more. You give him the opportunity to reach for you instead of always being the one reaching. It's in the gaps between moments that feelings grow stronger. Think about your favorite song. Part of what makes music powerful is the silence between the notes. For us, if it was just non-stop noise, there would be no beauty, no rhythm, no emotion. The same applies to attraction. If every moment is filled, if you're always present, there's no emotional build-up, no contrast, no time for his mind to replay your smile, your voice, your laugh, your energy. No time for him to realize how good you make him feel and how much he misses that feeling when you're not around. Strategic absence also communicates something incredibly attractive: self-sufficiency. It shows that you have your own life, your own passions, your own priorities. It subtly says, I enjoy you, but I don't need you to feel fulfilled. That energy is magnetic. It creates a dynamic where being with you feels like a gift, not an obligation. It keeps the relationship vibrant, exciting, full of anticipation instead of routine. He knows he can't just take your time and attention for granted, and that makes every moment with you more precious. The trick is not to disappear completely or create insecurity. It's a balance. You are still warm, you are still responsive, but you're not overexposing yourself. You're not making yourself so constantly present that he stops feeling the thrill of your company. You show affection, but you also show self-respect. You're available, but you're not always available. And when you do show up, you bring your full energy, making every interaction rich and meaningful. Sometimes, after a great day or conversation, the best thing you can do is simply say, "I had a really good time," and then let it be. You don't rush to plan the next thing. You don't flood him with more attention to maintain the momentum. You let the memory of the experience do the work for you. You trust that the connection you created was strong enough to echo without you having to constantly push it forward. This trust in the emotional connection, this ability to step back and allow someone to come towards you, is one of the most powerful moves you can make. It shows emotional maturity, it shows confidence, it shows that you are not afraid of space because you know that what you offer is rare, and rare things are worth chasing. Attraction needs a little mystery, a little tension, a little wondering, not because you're playing games, but because you're respecting the natural flow of human emotion. Too much exposure too fast can burn out even the strongest spark. But if you allow space, if you respect the rhythm of connection, you build a fire that has room to grow stronger over time. Strategic absence isn't about punishing someone. It's about preserving the magic. It's about giving him room to realize on his own that life feels better with you in it. That his days are a little less exciting without your energy. That he starts wondering when he'll see you again. That he starts wanting to create those next moments with you instead of feeling like they're just being handed to him. If you can master this balance, if you can create beautiful emotional moments, and then allow just enough space for him to miss you, you won't need to fight for anyone's attention. They'll be drawn back to you naturally, again and again, craving the feeling they can only get from you. Attraction isn't just about how someone feels in your presence. It's about how much they want to know more about you after you leave. It's about curiosity. It's about depth. It's about not giving everything away at once. Mystery is not about being distant or cold. It's about being intriguing. It's about showing enough of yourself to spark interest while keeping enough back to make someone want to peel back the layers. Human nature craves discovery. We are drawn to what we don't fully understand. When someone feels like there's more to uncover with you, they stay engaged. Their mind keeps returning to you because it's trying to fill in the blanks. The problem today is that many people confuse connection with overexposure. They think that to build intimacy fast, they have to share everything about themselves right away, every story, every scar, every detail of their life. But intimacy doesn't happen because you dump your life story on someone. True intimacy happens gradually. It happens through shared moments, through layered conversations, through a dance of revealing and discovering over time. When you hold some things back, you aren't being secretive. You're being wise. You're protecting the magic of getting to know someone slowly and savoring the experience. Being mysterious doesn't mean being fake. It doesn't mean creating a version of yourself that doesn't exist. It means allowing your depth to unfold naturally instead of trying to hand it all over in the first few meetings. You are not a puzzle to be solved in one night. You are a story worth reading chapter by chapter, not a summary someone can skim through and move on from. Each interaction with you should feel like the next page, not the final page. Keep something for later. Keep some of your thoughts, some of your dreams, some of your passions tucked safely inside, waiting for the right moment to be shared. Mystery also isn't just about what you say. It's about the energy you carry. It's about having a life that's full and rich outside of him. It's about having passions, goals, and experiences that are yours, whether he's there or not. When you have your own inner world, your own adventures, your own things that light you up, you automatically become more interesting. You naturally create a sense of depth because there's so much happening beneath the surface. He feels that energy, even if he can't quite put it into words. He senses that you're not waiting for someone to give your life meaning. You already have meaning. He just gets to discover what parts of that world he might be lucky enough to be invited into. Mystery also comes from being unpredictable in the most beautiful ways, not in a chaotic or unstable way, but in a way that keeps him guessing in the best sense. Maybe one day you're playful and teasing, the next you're deeply thoughtful and reflective. Maybe you're spontaneous, suggesting a new adventure he never would have tried. Maybe you surprise him with a perspective he didn't expect. Every time he thinks he has you figured out, you show a new side that makes him realize there's still so much more to learn. That's the kind of experience that becomes addictive. It keeps him mentally engaged. It keeps his curiosity alive. It makes you unforgettable because you never become boring or predictable. The truth is, predictability kills excitement over time. When someone feels like they know everything about you and nothing will ever surprise them, they lose a part of the emotional spark that first drew them in. But when someone feels that every conversation, every interaction could reveal something new, when they feel that being around you is a journey rather than a destination, they stay invested. They stay curious. And curiosity is one of the strongest fuels for emotional obsession. Creating mystery and depth doesn't mean you have to hide who you are. It means you recognize that real connection is built layer by layer. And it's about knowing that not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every feeling needs to be confessed right away. It's trusting that the right moments will unfold naturally if you give them space to. It's being confident enough to know that you don't have to sell yourself in one night, that who you are is interesting enough, valuable enough, magnetic enough, and the right person will be excited to discover every layer at the right time. If you can hold your mystery with grace, if you can be rich with depth, without rushing to reveal it all, you'll find that you don't just capture someone's attention for a little while, you hold their imagination long after you're gone. You become the story they want to keep reading, the puzzle they want to keep solving, the adventure they can't stop thinking about. And that's how you become not just a memory, but a mental obsession. The truth is, people don't become obsessed with someone they feel they could replace at any moment. Obsession comes from recognizing something rare, something unique, something that can't simply be found anywhere else. if you want to linger in someone's mind long after the conversation ends, if you want to become the person they compare everyone else to, you need to show them that what you bring into their life is something no one else can offer in quite the same way. Unique value isn't about being the most beautiful person in the room or having the flashiest lifestyle. It's about the emotional experience you create for him. It's about how he feels when he's around you, and more importantly, how he feels when you're not there. Does he feel more alive, more inspired, more understood, more excited about life? These emotional experiences are priceless, and they are not easily replaced once someone realizes how good they feel in your presence. One of the most important parts of showing unique value is embracing your authentic self, not a polished version you think someone might prefer. When you try to fit into a mold or mimic what you believe a man wants, you become generic. You blur into the background with everyone else trying to be the same ideal. But when you stand firmly in who you are, your passions, your quirks, your way of seeing the world, you create a signature experience. You offer a flavor that no one else can duplicate because it's entirely unapologetically you. Part of this comes from knowing what makes you light up inside. When you talk about what you love, when you pursue the things that excite you, you radiate an energy that draws people in. Enthusiasm is magnetic. Purpose is magnetic. Joy is magnetic. It's not about impressing someone with how perfect your life looks on the outside. It's about how alive you are on the inside. That feeling of aliveness is contagious. It makes people want to be around you because you remind them of what it feels like to be passionate, to be excited, to be connected to something bigger than the day-to-day routine. Unique value also shows up in the way you interact with him. Maybe it's the way you really listen when he talks, making him feel heard in a world that's too busy to pay attention. Maybe it's the way you challenge him to think bigger, to dream more, to push himself beyond what he thought was possible. Maybe it's the way you bring out his playful side when he's used to always being serious. Or maybe it's the way you show compassion without judgment, creating a safe space he doesn't find with anyone else. You have to ask yourself, what is it about being with me that no one else can easily replicate? Is it the fun, the peace, the excitement, the growth? Once you know your strengths, once you recognize the emotional experiences you naturally create, you can lean into them without fear. You don't need to force anything. You simply need to be fully alive in your gifts, fully present in your authenticity, and fully unapologetic about the way you show up in the world. And here's another key. Don't rush to give everything away too quickly. Unique value isn't just about who you are. It's about the slow discovery of who you are. Let him earn the deeper layers of your world. Let him experience the joy of unveiling your depth over time. When someone feels like they're uncovering something precious, something not everyone gets to see, it becomes even more valuable to them. Scarcity increases perceived value. When you make access to your deepest, most personal self, something that is reserved for someone who shows real effort, you automatically increase your worth in their eyes. When you create that sense of rare value, when you become someone whose energy, perspective, humor, passion, and spirit feel irreplaceable, he doesn't just think about you casually. He feels your absence. He notices when you're not around. He craves more of what you bring because it's not something he can just find by swiping right or starting a conversation with someone new. It's tied specifically to you, to the way you make him feel, to the way you see him, to the way you move through life. Becoming someone's mental obsession isn't about performing or pretending. It's about knowing deep down that what you bring into a relationship is rare and carrying yourself like the priceless woman you are. When you own that truth, when you live it unapologetically, you become unforgettable. You become the one he compares everyone else to, and no one else even comes close.